boost your advanced English vocabulary. 4 advanced words plus idiom, with examples and short stories. At the end, a short story with all the words. Now let's look at the words one by one. Strain. Physical or mental pressure, tension, or effort that stretches something beyond its normal capacity. Synonyms: stress, tension, pressure. Mini story with the word.
Rachel's team was under strain as they rushed to meet the project deadline. They worked around the clock, surviving on coffee and determination. The strain became evident when her best programmer resigned, forcing Rachel to reassess her approach.
Lifting heavy boxes without help can cause back strain quickly. Working overtime put immense strain on his family relationships. Their marriage survived despite years of financial strain.
Persist. To continue to do something despite difficulty, opposition, or discouragement. Synonyms: persevere, endure, continue. The mountain peak had turned Alex back twice, once by weather, once by injury. He trained harder, studied routes carefully, and chose the perfect weather window. His determination to persist finally brought him to the summit at sunrise in silent victory.
She decided to persist with piano lessons despite slow progress. He chose to persist in his research when others abandoned it. Some old traditions persist even in the most modern societies.
Compassionate. Showing genuine concern and care for sufferings of others. Synonyms: empathetic, caring, sympathetic.
The elderly man sat alone at the diner every morning. Young Sophie started joining him for breakfast, listening to his stories about his garden and his late wife. Her compassionate nature transformed his lonely mornings into something worth waking up for.
It was a compassionate gesture to pay for the stranger's groceries. She is deeply compassionate and volunteers at the shelter weekly. His compassionate nature makes him a great mentor for young kids.
Acutely. Noticing or feeling something very strongly, in an intense, sharp, or severe manner. Synonyms: intensely, keenly, sharply.
The factory closure left 300 workers unemployed in the small town. Mayor Richardson walked through empty assembly lines where families had worked for years. He became acutely aware that statistics had names, faces, and children who needed him to act immediately.
The detective was acutely observant of small details others missed. We are acutely aware of the risks involved in this new investment. Small businesses are acutely vulnerable to market changes.
Take its toll. To gradually cause harm, damage, or negative effects over time through accumulated stress, strain, or hardship. Synonyms: wear down, drain, weaken.
Antarctica's extreme environment challenged even experienced researchers like Dr. Peterson. 6 months of isolation, darkness, and sub-zero temperatures tested her resilience. The harsh conditions took their toll on her psychologically, despite her preparation.
Years of smoking finally began to take its toll on his health. A lack of sleep will quickly take its toll on your mental clarity. The constant stress started to take its toll on their marriage.
Burn the candle at both ends. To exhaust yourself by working too hard or doing too many activities. Second wind. A renewal of energy that comes after initial tiredness, allowing you to continue an activity you thought you couldn't finish. Short story using all today's vocabulary.
As a compassionate doctor, Sarah was acutely sensitive to her patients' suffering and always put them first. When the pandemic hit, she began to burn the candle at both ends, remaining reachable around the clock to handle emergencies. Soon she realized her energy was fading as the strain of being constantly on call began to take its toll. When she felt she couldn't go on, her patients' heartfelt gratitude gave her a second wind to persist.
Today we've learned strain, persist, compassionate, acutely, take its toll. You'll see them again in future videos, so they'll stick in your memory. Subscribe and watch our podcast to dive even deeper.